Hey, what's up, everybody? So I just got through watching the Lakers lose to the Los Angeles Clippers, and my opinion of the game is there were a lot wrong. It was a lot wrong. It was a lot right. First of all, I want to point out what was right. Danny Green was super hot in the third quarter, shot the ball crazy for the Los Angeles Lakers. Really appreciated what I saw from him. Saw some good things out of guys. LeBron James had some nice defensive plays here and there. Took some nice charges, got some block shots, real good stuff. I wanted to see more of McGee out there. Wanted to see less of Jared Dudley, even though he hit a big shot for us. Wanted to see more of what's the guy's name, number 30 down there, Troy Daniels, who had a real nice start to the game and couldn't get back on the floor. Basically, what I saw tonight was the Lakers didn't match the intensity of the Los Angeles Clippers. JaMychal Green shot the ball like a madman. He really shot the ball well. Landry Shamet shot the ball well. Patrick Beverley played with heart as always. Montrezl Harrell played with heart as always. And Kawhi Leonard was Kawhi Leonard with 30 points. This is a bad loss for the Los Angeles Lakers because you want to have home court advantage against a team like this. And I understand what's in the Staples Center, obviously. But no, it's not the same. It's not the same. You want to have home court advantage against a team that could be as good as you, if not better than you. And it doesn't matter if you play in the same arena or not. You want that floor to be representative of your floor. You want it to be a purple and gold floor, basically. So I just don't like some of the rotations that I saw out there tonight. I think that Frank Vogel has some things to work out in that regard. But a lot of what went wrong just came from us just not doing the hustle things properly. We didn't hustle as hard. We missed free throws. We didn't rebound the ball in situations where we should. We gave them second chance points in situations where they shouldn't have been able to get those. And we didn't impose our size the way I wanted us to, which really hurt us. What also hurt us, and something that I think could be a problem, and something I may have mentioned, is we don't really have a whole lot of athleticism and elite play out of our guards and forwards at this point. We missed Kyle Kuzma scoring out there and his rebounding. If he's not really a rebounder, but we missed his size out there to a degree. He would have helped solidify our bench a great deal. So we can't wait for him to come back. But what I saw out there was just Frank Vogel kind of toying around with different guard lineups and kind of just throwing people out there at random. And when you take AD out of the game and you leave LeBron out there, you only have one of them out there, you better make sure you have the right guard combinations and forward combinations to go up against a team as elite as the LA Clippers are right now. You're not going to be able to take plays off, and that's what we did. We had a nice little 7-point lead in the second quarter. He took both of the big guys out of the game, and the Clippers quickly went up by 6. We had a nice situation going on with Danny Green. We were down by 12, 15, something like that. Danny Green shot the lights out, scored I think over 15 points in the third quarter alone. And then he started the fourth quarter without him, and the Clippers went up by 12. You have to have some consistency with the hot hand. If there's a guy who's hot, play him. That was my problem with Luke Walton. You cannot have a situation where guys are super hot and then you sitting them down just because you want to make sure that guys get on the floor. Nah, that's not going to work when you're trying to beat a team as elite as the Clippers. You can do that against some of the other teams. You're playing against the Eastern Conference team like Orlando or Chicago or something like that. You can get away with that for sure, but not against a team like the Clips. Not when you got guys like Patrick Beverley out there who can guard pretty much whether anybody under 6'1". I mean, he can guard anybody. So you gotta have respect for the opposition, and I don't think the Lakers respected the opposition properly tonight. I think they came out there thinking they were going to get a nice win, knowing that Paul George wasn't going to be out there, knowing that the Clippers are not going to have the size to really match up with us, and they beat us, and they beat us handily, and they deserve to. So this is one of the wins for the Clippers that I think is going to really, really boost them going forward. I think they have bragging rights at this point. We ain't going to see them again probably. I think it's still Christmas or something like that. So it's going to be real fun for them to look back on this win and see a victory, on this game and see a victory. For the Lakers, it's the beginning of the season for us, so we know that we have a lot to figure out. They're a team that's been together for a while, with the exception of the 2 stars that they've picked up. So they have synergy that we're trying to figure out. Their coach has been with the team forever, so this is not a situation where they're learning one another. We're still trying to figure out what works for us. We're still trying to put players on the floor that play well with one another, and I saw a couple of lineups out there that I did like. So I think there's some things to take away from this game that you can be proud of and be happy about, and you figure you'd probably be able to get a win against an average team. playing the way you did tonight. But unfortunately, the Clippers are not that. They had a home game tonight. It was their floor, and they acted like it, and they deserved to win. Another thing that I didn't really like out there was the officiating. I don't want to harp on the officiating. Officials are going to do their job, whatever. But some of the plays that we saw go the Clippers' way, I thought were questionable. Some of the calls that I felt maybe could have went our way didn't. So that's going to be spoken about. I don't want to give too much attention to that because that's not why we lost. But I thought another thing that I saw out there that I really didn't love was LeBron James falling in love with the jump shot. I saw him shoot a lot of threes last year and they were falling. Today it seemed like he was trying to pick up where he left off with that. And the problem was those threes were not, and those jump shots were not falling, and because of it, the Clippers were able to get the rebounds and go the other way. Those are possessions that probably should have been in AD's hands possibly, or should have been taken at the rim. So LeBron James is going to have to shore up his jump shot. Obviously, he hasn't played basketball in almost a year, so I give respect to that. But he has to accept the fact that some of those jump shots are not going to be good for our team. There was a play down the stretch of the game that I saw where LeBron James picked up his 5th turnover, and I think it was Marval. I don't know. It might have been Marval were calling the game. I'm not certain, to be honest, because I had links on Facebook that I was watching. But basically, the guy who was calling the game basically said, yo, hey, LeBron James, 5th turnover, more or less blaming LeBron James. That's not what I saw out there. What I saw was that Anthony Davis was in the paint, kind of camping, waiting for an interior pass, and the Clippers were playing some fantastic interior defense on that play. Anthony Davis is going to have to understand, if you're going to camp in the paint with your hand up waiting for the ball to come, and the team is playing a great interior defense, that means that the pass that's coming is probably going to be passed to you at the same time you're going to be trying to get out of the 3-second lane. You got 3 seconds going to be called on you if you camp like that, and he really hurt us. I know LeBron James is going to be tasked with that turnover, but that was Anthony Davis' fault in my opinion. You can't camp like that in the paint, bro. You cannot, especially when the Clippers are playing that type of interior defense. You have to get in and get out, and if you stay down there long enough, you sitting there in that second, in the 3-second call, if that second is coming through more or less, that means you're going to find yourself trying to exit the paint at the same time the interior pass comes, and that's exactly what happened. It made it very difficult for LeBron James to get that pass to him. So a lot of people will say that was LeBron James' turnover, but for me that was Anthony Davis's turnover. Don't camp in the lane, bro. It doesn't help us. You can make that same you can get that same positioning just outside of the key, rather than just camping deep in the lane like that and expecting the ball to come your way when the defense is all over you. It's just not going to work. So there were a couple things down there that I saw that didn't work for the Lakers, but more so it was the Clippers beating us, honestly. JaMychal Green is the guy that comes to mind for me. He just kept hitting timely 3-point shots over and over again. They just couldn't stop him from shooting the tray. Lou Williams obviously did what he was able to do. Just like I said at the beginning of the game, you can't play around with Lou Williams because he's going to draw fouls and he's going to hit shots, and he's going to make it easy for himself. No matter who he's playing against, no matter what the situation is, he knows how to score and he knows how to draw fouls as well as anybody. Him and James Harden are the best I've ever seen at that. So if you're going to deal with a team with him on it, you got to understand that that's going to happen. He's consistent in that regard. So yeah, man, I'd love to be able to talk crap about the Clippers, but the reality is the Lakers did not play well enough to beat that team, and that's without Paul George. So if this is going to be how we approach this team, we are not going to beat them. It's that simple. We have to switch things up. We got to ride the hot hand a little more and shave our bench down. And look, I know I'm a prisoner in the moment in regards to this player, but what I saw from Zach Norville in the preseason was pure and utter confidence and belief in himself. And in my opinion, when you have a player with that much confidence in himself, who is that effective on a basketball floor doing things that aren't really going to be stopped anywhere, more or less his jump shot, driving to the basket, making people fall on the ground, you got to play him in regular season games, and you got to play him in regular rotation. I respect people like Dudley and And a lot of guys that we have, KCP, these are vets that have earned their right to play basketball. But earning your right to play basketball don't do nothing for your victories. It does nothing. I don't care if a guy's been in the league for 15 years and he's earned the right. That shit don't do nothing. Put Norville on the floor and watch him score 15, 20 points. He could have been a difference to win the game tonight for us, to be honest. Because our bench was what was sucking out there when we were putting people like Dudley on the team, on the floor. It wasn't working. You know, you want to put young legs on the floor against a young team. They played their young players. They had a Landry Shamet out there a good portion of the time. We got to also put our young player out there. If we know you got a hot hand, somebody who believes in himself, somebody who's going absolutely nuts, scoring against anybody and everybody he got on the floor with, put him out there. Ain't no sense in having an old man Dudley out there. He ain't doing nothing. Like, let's just be honest. Play Norville. I guarantee you we see some good things out of that kid, and our bench improves dramatically if you just put the hot, confident hand on the floor, the rookie who doesn't know any better but to believe in himself and hasn't done anything but play well every time you put him out there on both ends of the floor. Play Norville, man. Play him, and play him well. Put him out there like you would put anybody else on this bench on that floor, and I guarantee he puts himself in a position to do good things for you. And most importantly, he's drawing attention away from some of these other guys as to where a guy like Dudley, a guy like KCP, they're not drawing attention away from people. No. They may get lucky, hit a three here and there, but the majority of the time they're just not going to do what they need to do to win. And another thing I'll say about KCP, and I know a lot of people jump on KCP about this, that, and the third, but in all honesty, his basketball IQ is not up to par for me, personally. As a Laker fan, I've watched him for 3 years now, man. He makes too many mistakes that are just basketball IQ and heady play mistakes. It's just, I'm not saying he's Kwame Brown, nothing like that, but it's getting to a point where it's become a problem for me as a fan. I've watched 2 years of this and we're starting off with it again. He does some good things defensively. He can get really, really streaky at times, but the majority of his shots are bad shots. Bad shot selection, untimely plays, turning the ball over. He's not particularly good from the with ball handling, things like that. What I do like from him is his tenacity on the ball. He's really good at chasing people around. He can help you in that way. He's really good in the open court. When he's the recipient of the fast break play, he's athletic. You know what I mean? He has sneaky athleticism in him. So he does have some good things. He can really help you here and there. But when it's time to do some real thinking and making real good, smart plays, he's usually on the wrong end of those plays. I want to see better finishing from Dwight Howard, more contesting early shots from Dwight Howard. I felt like Dwight and AD to an extent could have contested some plays in the paint that they allowed to fly by. I'd rather you get a foul call drawn on you, especially if you're Dwight, than let a man dunk on your head and you're just sitting there watching him. You're down there to contest. We have 7-footers all over the place, so if you pick up early fouls, though it may not make you happy, it's definitely not going to hurt the team as much as it would have when you were playing for Orlando or something like that. Draw the foul, bro. Make somebody think twice about getting in the paint. Make somebody think twice about everything they do in regards to trying to dunk on you. If you get posterized, so be it. That's your job. Get posterized. But do not let a man fly down the lane, somebody like Mo Harkless, fly down the lane, and you sitting there caught looking at him. No, that's not going to work. We need more effort out of our bigs if we're going to beat a team like the Clippers. Because that's our bread and butter. We don't have great guards. Our bread and butter is in our size. So if our big guys aren't going to contest plays and not going to rebound the ball and not finish easy plays, we're not going to win games because we're just not good enough at the guard play. Quite honestly, we're just not good enough, which is why I'm screaming play Norville, because I don't believe in a lot of our guards over time. I love what I saw out of Danny Green. Saw some good things out of Quinn Cook, but these guys aren't superstars. You need to try to tap into the potential that you have in your roster. And I see that in the young Norville, man. I see it. He is not a guy you want to throw in the back of the bench and just give respect to people who've been in the league forever. No, our team is already old enough as it is. Play the young guy. Anyway, it's BDF 44. A little frustrated here. I've been talking a lot of crap about the Clippers online. Now Clipper fans are going nutty. You know I don't like that kind of stuff, but it's all good. They have a right. They won the game. And off to play Utah next. We got our home opener against Utah. Utah is a very, very good defensive team. And if we play like this against Utah, we may lose that game as well. So we got to be very, very cautious about what we got going on there. They got a very, very solid team with very good guard play. With Mike Conley coming up. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell's there. You know Gobert is going to bring it defensively. You know he's going to finish plays. And they have Bogdanovich as well. I believe his name is Bogdanovich from the Pacers. They picked him up. I think he's going to be a fantastic acquisition, one of the most consistent players in all of basketball, in my opinion. So you have got to bring it if you're going to play against the Utah Jazz. They are a legitimate Western Conference contender. So that's what I got, Laker fans. Looking forward to that game. I believe it's on Friday here at Staples Center. Lakers lose, and that's that. Peace.